Hey everyone, it's Mike from Junkie on Crafts and Builds, and we're back again with another Spider-Man Marvel Legends figure. This time, the figure for this wave is Cardiac. This has been a highly anticipated figure, I guess, amongst Legends collectors. I remember reading him back in like the 90s with Eric Larson drawing everything with McFarlane. I mean, the heyday before the Image company took on. So it's kind of cool that we finally get this guy. Let's just hope he is as good as what people hope him to be. So let's just start off. All right, you got the package here. It's a clear blister showing all the accessories that we got here. Pulse Staff, Cardiac, Spider-Man, Born Up. And here on the back, we have, again, the cross-sell of all the characters in this wave. The breakdown of how to replace hands. All right. And then Dr. Elias Wortham transforms himself into a vigilante Cardiac, revenge his brother by enacting injustice against evil corporations that skirt the law. Yeah, we'll talk a little bit more because I didn't really remember a lot about what this guy had done, but we'll kind of go a brief overview of his powers and such. But if you're looking for him, there is the UPC. So with that out of the way, let's get Cardiac out of his package. And here we have Cardiac out of his packaging, and so far, compared to the other ones I've looked at from this wave, which is right now the Owl, this guy is a knockout. Looks like it's all new sculpt work. Definitely, whoever designed this took a lot of time and care. Still not without its flaws, but let's go ahead and start looking at the aesthetics of this guy first and foremost. So looking at him right now, and again, I'm trying to hit the light the best I can. It's tough with a white character, but he looks really good. The sculpt work on the face with that grimace and the nose kind of covered up more. I'm not sure how I say that to make sense, but just the look of him on his face looks really good. There's nice deco around the eyes. There's this dark circle around the whites, gritted teeth. Again, the sculpt, the Cardiac heartbeats, so to speak, are sculpted into the head, which is really nice. Get some nice wrinkles there by the eye. Here's the back. We got wrinkles on the neck right now. Again, really nice. Going down here, again, the pulses for Cardiac are sculpted into the body. He's a bigger buck right here. And it could be, with these, it kind of helps with the illusion that he's broader than what he actually is. So if you hold this up, I mean, he's still kind of got those sculpted arms there that are kind of sunken low from the traps. We got this nice neck piece. This gorget that goes, not a gorget, but this neck protecting part of his uniform. And his arms, got some sculpt work there for the muscles. Not too bad, doesn't look very tubular there. Forearms, again, it's the 90s, so we have pouches. That's the word I'm thinking of. Pouches all over the place. And then striation lines across for the arm. I forgot to say with the pauldrons here, we got a little bit of sculpt work in on the pauldrons themselves. Help that a little bit so you can kind of see it a little bit better. Still a little pulled in on the pecs. And then we got the abdomen here. Nice. Got that body armor across the back. We got these legs with more pouches. Nice big knee pads. And then pouches and more lines on the bottom of his feet here. So I mean, it looks really good. I'm quite happy with this figure, looks wise alone. So I said I was going to talk more about Cardiac and kind of give a little bit of 5-second Google searches. So again, he's Dr. Elias Wortham's. Basically, his brother died of a disease and he devoted himself to be a doctor. He found out that there was a miracle drug that could have saved his brother's life, and then he Elias directed his company to take over the drug manufacturer, and then after he acquired the company, he found out that the drug had been developed years ago, but the company was withheld the release in order to earn more money. So kind of parallels of what we see with some research and stuff today, but we're not getting into that. Never mind. So again, now disgusted by his brother's meaningless death, Elias subjected himself to experiments that replaced his heart with a beta particle reactor and fused a vibranium mesh into his skin, and assumed the costume guise of Cardiac. And he set out to avenge the deaths of innocents at the hands of individuals who were untouchable by the law. So there you go. He's your vigilante to protect the innocent from greedy corporations. Okay, so let's talk about the accessories that he comes with. First off, he has his pulse staff. Yeah, pulse staff. That's the word I was thinking of. Simple, swirly, silver plastic. We do got a little bit of detail here on the end of either side to project the beta particles. To hold that, we have a pair of gripping hands, just in white plastic. We got vertical hinges on both. And then out of the box, he's got an asymmetric set of a gesture hand on a horizontal hinge. That's really tight. And then he's got a fist also on a horizontal hinge. So let's get him armed up. And now that we have him all armed up with his staff, we have the last effects that we get here, and we get two halves of this beta energy effect piece. So it's two halves. We got pins and holes on either side that will easily get together. We'll see. Yeah, so there you go. Oops, that's why. It actually has two different size holes. We got a smaller hole here, and that's all out of focus, sorry. Smaller hole, larger hole. So that way you can put it on the end or have it up, I guess, around this part here to charge around. So let's just get that in place. And it looks like it just simply presses in together by friction. And there we go. He's charged up to administer cardiac care. Or you just swirl this around, I assume, he says. Get that into place. I don't know if that's the way it's supposed to be, but we can always fudge it around. And there it's projected towards the end of his staff, like so. So there he is with his cardiac charging blast effect. I wonder, hold on, let's take this off for a second. I doubt it's going to work because the holes may be too small, but I want to try something. So we're going to take off one of his hands, and we're going to see if we can put this effect around his wrist. And, oh, sorry, I'm doing this off camera, but trust me. Now he's got a blast effect on his, where his hand would be, or you can leave the hand on, maybe. I'm sure there's enough room. So now he's actually, you know, punching and falling and going from there. So not a bad effect. It would have been cool if we got two of them for either side, but he's directing it out of one end of the staff, or again out of his body. But that's pretty cool. All right, so let's just run right into articulation real quick. We'll put his hand back on. We'll do the gesture hand for this one. So right off the bat, we are looking at a ball peg situation, and this actually has a lot of range. I'm kind of surprised, and it's long. Head's not too bad. So let's put that back on. Let's see what it can do. All right, well, he can look up. He can look up that far. He can look down that far. You know he can look left and right, but how about we got some nice tilting action here. So there's definitely some nuance you can put in on him, which is a good thing. So neck doesn't have a ball joint down there. It's all up in the top part. We've got our 360, and the pauldron is on that little tab that goes around the shoulder peg. So that's nice. Gets out of the way. We can hit our T-pose and those pauldrons don't get in the road, which is nice. Definitely nice. Our biceps, it's a straight cut, but with the way the muscles are shaped, it doesn't look horrible. We got our double joints. You can only go up that far because of the pouches. We already talked about the hands, so let's see how the torso goes. So again, mid-torso, got an angle cut that goes along with the rib cage. Not bad. I mean, could have tapered in a little bit more here, but so you got your, it's not clicking or clacking anywhere, so that's nice. Definitely get your range from there. It's definitely breaking the sculpt, but you know, it's a toy, not a comic, so it's not going to flow along with it. We arch back there that far. It's still, you can kind of break the sculpt, but it's not too bad. Still got these bulging muscles here on the abdomen. Looks kind of off, but that's how far back you can go. Crouch isn't bad. Still could go a little further. It may, you know, Dremel out a little more underneath here, you know, is what you can to get a little more of a crouch. But that's it. No other waist rotation or anything. No drop downs, but you can get a full, pretty much a full split, better than Spider-Man, which is cool. Kick up that far. Back, just a little bit. Our thigh swivel is hidden by these pouches, which is nice. Again, the only detriment is when you start turning it around, you're going to break the sculpt with the pulse going down the leg, but that can't really be helped. Double jointed knees. Sucks that they do this white out here, and then you got these overlays that kind of bulge a little bit, at least this one is. But you can go back that far before you hit all your pouches and stuff. Nicely tensioned, at least. No boot swivel. Oh my gosh, that. Why do you not put all the articulation that you have on a figure and make it available? This is a perfect example of where you could put a boot swivel and have it hidden just like you did up here in the thigh. Why? Why would you not do that? Anyhow. All right, so you're not going to get anything up here. So hopefully this front-facing pin, you're going to get down that far. That's all you're going to need. You can go up a fair amount. Not bad. And then, of course, you got your pivot around here for your ankle. Just a boot swivel would have made this just awesome. Would have made it so much better. Not that he's bad. He's not. He's actually quite good. I'm quite happy with him. But it's just that part there makes no sense to me. Why they would put so much time and effort into like new sculpt work, but then take out basic articulation that is in most most action figure brands right now. We'll kind of do some comparisons next. So before I got into comparisons, I wanted to try to find a couple alternate heads just to try things out for my Carl Weather. Oh, I'm sorry, never mind. General Brown head from Operation Monster Force. And while it may look a little older, I think that's a really decent representation of Dr. Elias, that look there. I also was trying my rollout head from Battleverse, but the ball peg socket is just a little too small. I don't want to force it onto that that peg where it's going to get damaged. But yeah, just a lot of options, hopefully, for people to put a Dr. Elias in place here. And with that, since we have him here, here he is with the General and Classified Series ECU policeman. And crossing the streams between comics and MCU world, we have the Final Flight suit Holland Spider-Man and the Daredevil Born Again Daredevil. And he looks good with them. I mean, it's a good mix of, you know, the realism with kind of like the more fantastic looking. If you're mixing your imports in with your mainline Hasbro stuff. Here he is with the Mafex Daredevil comic version. Looks good together. And for a little more fantastical military fighting, here we have a Skull Loader from the Fix Hobby Acid Rain 6-inch figure line. And here he is with his wave mate, Marvel's Owl. So final impressions of the Marvel Spider-Man Wave Cardiac. He's actually, it's night and day compared to dealing with the Owl and all the complicated crap that goes with that. This is a really nice design that is elegantly executed. Not perfect, but really fits the bill for a nice action figure. Again, especially for a character that many Spider-Man and Legends fans have been wanting for years. This fits the bill. Nicely articulated. Again, boot swivel is a must anymore for modern action figures. I will continue to say that. I don't know why Hasbro takes away stuff to add other things in. I understand budgets and stuff, but it's a cut. It's something that could be so easily done, in my opinion. But I'm not a toy expert, and I'm not standing in front of a wall to yell about stuff. He's definitely up there with the better figures that I've seen so far of the wave. I've got a few more to go through, but if I had to rate this guy from a 1 to 3, 1 meaning stay away, 3 saying get him in your collection today, I would definitely give him a 3. He's well executed. A good figure, in my opinion. So that's everything, guys, for this impressions video. If you liked it, please leave a comment down below. Are you going to get this figure? Is Cardiac someone that you've been pining for from the 90s comics? Let me know. And as always, like, comment, hype, subscribe, all the jargon that you hear every time. I'm going to repeat it because I love talking to you guys. So that's everything. So until next time, enjoy your collection. Bye.